Hello and welcome to the Chunky Monkeys of 2026. Last year I did a tag, the Beefcake tag, created by Kevin Tolles Reads, and that was to select 10 huge books that you plan to read in 2025. I did the tag, I had my books, and then, well, unless you are living under a rock, you're well aware of the cluster duck that 2025 became, regardless of where in the world you were living, along with just personal things that happened in our lives as well. If you've been following here for a bit, you know we had a major loss in November, as well as a number of other challenges throughout the year. So my reading definitely took a nosedive for a number of different reasons. Some of the books that are on my Chunky Monkey 2026 list are from last year. I still need to finish them, and others are new. Now, I've picked more than 10. We'll see what happens in 2026. It's almost the end of February as I am recording this, and at the moment, it looks like life is still going to be a challenge, but we have to move forward one day at a time. And for me, part of that is making plans and just seeing where it goes. Let me know in the comments down below, do you read a bunch of Chunky Monkeys? Do you prefer short stories or standalone novels? There's a wide range of books to select from. Starting off, and these are in no particular order, I have The Dragon Reborn. This is book 3 of the Wheel of Time series, and I really do appreciate that the book numbers are on the front of each of the books, so thank you so much to the publishers for doing that. Life happens, so our group read has become a buddy read with my friend Ven from Ven's Reading Corner. He's up to book 5. I have yet to start book 3 because I need to finish my notes. I forgot to mention, in case you don't know, this series is by Robert Jordan and was finished by Brandon Sanderson. Knights of the Black and Whyte. This is by Jack Whyte, an author new to me. I've yet to read his works, but I found a number at my local thrift store. This may be a buddy read with my friend Kat, Ginger Bibliophile, later in the year. Fingerprints of the Gods. This is by Graham Hancock. This will be my 3rd read of his work, and it isn't that I couldn't finish reading it. The holdup with this is I also want to make notes, and this ties into my huge Da Vinci spiral, which is currently over 100 plus books. So I decided before I finish reading it, I need to start getting my notes in order in terms of events, locations, other books it relates to. So this one isn't a holdup with my reading pace. It's a holdup with my not organized, have my notes taken issue. The next chunker, A Court of Silver Flames. This is by Sarah J. Maas. This will be a reread for me. I am looking forward to visiting with Nesta and Cassian again, as well as the angle about the Valkyries. And this one will definitely be done because it's part of a group read. Next is Vampires. This is by David J. Skal. It's a collection of short stories, some excerpts from novels, a lot of information about the vampire genre in books and movies. This book is packed with amazing photographs. This is The Dark Castle of Hollywood's Dracula was inhabited by 3 vampire women instead of 1. In the back of the book, along the margins, is information in chronological order. I'm not sure if this video will be up before or after my introduction to the vampire series. I've talked a bit more about the book there. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. This is by Susanna Clarke, an amazing find at my local thrift store, as this is 782 pages, and I picked it up for $4.50. I'm enjoying the read so far. You can tell I'm not very far in. I just find it really hard to hold because it's big, it's heavy, and yeah, I'm going to have to come up with a good plan because I'm really enjoying this. We start off with Mr. Norrell. I just have to find a good way to hold that. Another chunky monkey. This will tie in with my pagan Bible studies. This is Sir James George Frazer, The Golden Bough. It is a rebuy for me. I started it a bit, probably a few decades ago, and then I just didn't get into it. So I do love this cover. I'm looking forward to reading it. I also have an abridged version that's illustrated, so another way to read through the work. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I've mentioned so far. This is one that I won't be reading quickly front to back. It will be like Fingerprints of the Gods and Vampires as I'm going through it, not just for the reading and learning aspect, but to tie it in with other subjects as well. Another thrift store find, the Nostradamus Code. This is by David Ovason. Those interested in Nostradamus's prophecy should forget everything they've read so far and begin again here. That caught my interest, along with on the back. Nostradamus is the most famous clairvoyant in Western history. An aside there, isn't that interesting considering when Nostradamus wrote his work, he had to do it in secret. His information came from scrying, they were prophecies, and when he was alive, he would have been killed had he been caught. That's why he put his work in quatrains, and to my knowledge, no one has yet figured that out, but there are hundreds, if not at this point, thousands of people who are continuing to make money off of his work, and no, their lives aren't in danger. Interesting how times change. Now for the first time it's revealed that the master was working in a secret occult code called the Green Language, a code which has been cracked by a contemporary master working in the same tradition. Okay, now I'm really curious. So accurate are the dates which Nostradamus gave in his predictions, so telling the details he incorporated into his verses, that one has the eerie feeling that he actually witnessed the events he described. He predicted the day, if not indeed the actual hour, when he would die. Now, that one, that prediction, possibly. I am not aware of something called the Green Language. This will definitely be an interesting read. Yes, I do have several books about Nostradamus. I enjoy finding out about the man. I don't so much think that people have figured out his prophecies, and I certainly don't think that some of them relate to the current times. Let me know in the comments down below, do you think Nostradamus may have been looking this many centuries into the future, or are people just making money off of what he risked his life to share with the world? Another thing to keep in mind with Nostradamus is that anything we know about him is translated work. So it very much depends on who was translating his work from French to English or whatever language you're reading it in. Hopefully that translator was able to accurately convey the message that Nostradamus was trying to share. Because with translations, it isn't as simple as switching a word from French to English. You have to also share the context of what that individual was trying to say and be sure that you've picked the correct word in English to convey what he was saying in French. Next up, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the Trilogy of Four. This is by Douglas Adams. Again, another amazing find at my local thrift store. And again, just $4.50, so a huge bonus. And yes, Dave from Book Blather, thank you for letting me know there are 2 more books to the series, but I have to get through the first 4 before I go on the hunt for the next 2. Another buddy read, and again with my pal Ven. This is Blackwater by Michael McDowell. This will be my 3rd read through the series. Originally, I read it as a teenager. They had 4 of the 6 novellas in my library. 40 years later, thanks to my amazing husband, he bought me the collection of 6, and I read it in 2 days because, hello, I'd been waiting 40 years to find out about Eleanor and the rest of the family and what was the big secret. Thoroughly enjoyed it, love Michael McDowell's works. I could reread them continually. Ven and I are now up to book 2 of the series. So yes, I will definitely be finishing this one before the end of 2026. The last 2 finds were at Indigo. Great deals as I found them in the discount section, and indeed, the shiny caught my eye. This is Moon Magic by Marie Bruce. Lunar spells to attract an enchanted life. I've mentioned before I don't do spells, and I have featured the Moon Magic book in my other video about moon books. You can find a link up above. And the last book, the Necronomicon, finally said it right. Of course, it helps having it right in front of me. This, of course, is by H.P. Lovecraft, as well as a number of other writers. Tales of the eldritch horror from the masters of the genre. This again, shiny, sprayed edges. I'm very much looking forward to delving into more of Lovecraft. Let me know in the comments down below, do you enjoy reading Lovecraft stories? Yes, I am aware he is definitely one of those individuals where you may enjoy what he produced, but as a human being, not such a great guy. In the description box down below, you'll find all the titles and authors that I've mentioned. Fingers crossed that 2026 doesn't turn into be quite the same clusterduck as 2025. I'm looking forward to all of the reads, and no, these aren't the only books that I have planned. I also have at least 30 books that I need to finish. I'm at various points in reading them. Fingerprints of the Gods, Blackwater, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, I'm just looking at my books here, are 3 on that list of 27. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you also have a number of books that are on the go? You start them, you're excited about them, but then another book grabs your attention or life, and that book gets on hold and you pick up others. The box that I have behind me are books that I want to start soon. So back there I have The Way of the Peaceful Warrior by Dan Millman. That ties in with the Carlos Castaneda read, A Separate Reality, I just finished. I also have a Dan Brown there. Robert Langdon series ties in with the Da Vinci Spiral. I have 3 Vampire Chronicles books that I'm reading with a group and continuing on with that series. I also have Dr. Sleep there, which will be a buddy read in March with Jen, Gareth, and Chaz. So lots of reading going on. Eventually, I will get to getting my content figured out and up regularly. Few glitches with that, but that's okay. If you're curious about this big basket, those are all the books I need to finish making notes on before I put them back on the shelf. I also need to get all my cubes and shelves organized because I've just gone through to update my master list. I still have another set of cubes and a bookcase to get through before that's finalized. Then I can start crunching all the numbers for what do I still need to read from my personal library, how many books do I need to finish that I started. Some I already know I'm going to have to start from the beginning because it's been at least a year or 5 since I started them. And then how much have I actually read out of my now over 1,000 books, not including my cookbooks and my craft books and my coloring books. I may have a few books, but I figure, you know what? I don't really shop for anything else at this point in my life. We lead a simple life, and I could certainly be spending my money on far worse habits. So I'm going to take enjoying my books, having fun with them, all the learning, the adventure, and the spirals, because, yep, I'm that nerdy girl who loves charts and tables and mind webs and all of that stuff. And until next time, remember, the Chunky Monkeys aren't just a great read. They also make excellent exercise tools. Be well, be safe, and big hugs.